Hemispheric Security Council at Florida International University, hosted by the Jack Gordon Institute of Public Policy. We have a lot of participation from the Latin American Caribbean Center, headed by Dr. Mora, as well as from government entities like Southcom and a few others, bringing us some great information. Really quick, we want to summarize the points, the key takeaways from this morning. Dr. Mora, could you give us kind of a rundown of the key points and the takeaways that the business community in the United States, and maybe especially in South Florida, may want to take away in terms of what its outlook is in Latin America?
So General DiSalvo started the conference by providing a few minutes of remarks, followed by a conversation he and I had for about 30 minutes. His main point was to focus on the networks of the adversaries, of the illicit transnational traffickers or organizations that really is the biggest security challenge that the region faces. He talked a lot about what he called the red networks, which were all these very sophisticated and complex networks run by transnational criminal organizations that are really trying to corrupt, to weaken, to intimidate democratic institutions in the region. The key, I think, for the response was he talked about the green networks and the white networks. The white networks was particularly interesting in how the private sector, who has a stake in really the issue of security in the region, or lack of security in the region, have a stake in investing time and resources in supporting and complementing the efforts made by governments in the region as well as in the United States. And not just by resources, but creating more awareness. And not just the private sector, but NGO community, the universities, etc. They all have a stake, they have resources, they have expertise, that can contribute to the fight, so to speak, right? And so this has to be not just a whole of government effort, as they say, but a whole of society effort in which societies in Central America, in the United States, are working together to deal and confront with a very complex, very sophisticated, transnational threat that is really committed not just to making money through the trafficking of drugs, people, and arms, but to weakening the institutions that are there to provide security for us.
Where would you say some of that weakening is most happening in the region? Like, which countries are really experiencing that?
Oh, I think if you look at Central America, I think it's a clear place where, whether it's the gangs or in Mexico or the transnational criminal organizations or their collaboration, they're clearly focusing on making sure that democracy remains weak, that the police remains corrupt and weak. They're co-opting police forces and maybe even military forces. And as a result, you're seeing the highest levels of homicides or insecurity in the world. But of course, Central America is not the only place where this is happening. You're seeing it in Brazil. And that marriage of corruption, insecurity, weak governance, those synergies, that convergence, that negative convergence is really what's contributing to not just the poor performance of democracy, but the low level of satisfaction that people have about their governments and about their political leaders, and particularly about institutions that they feel are corrupted by, as we've seen in Brazil, the car wash.
Of course. Now that kind of leads into my next thing, and I wanted to speak very briefly on the question of community security forces, such as the Serenazgo in Peru. And I mean, we brought that into the conversation, and what's your take on that? How effective are community forces like that, community security forces or auxiliaries of the police, in terms of what kind of an effect, what kind of impact do they have on security?
I mean, that's in the end nothing new. We've seen examples of this in the United States and elsewhere, where community policing, that is to say, policing coming to the very specific neighborhood, establishing a relationship. There was a question of why is it that Nicaragua, compared to its neighbors, so much secure? And I think in large part they have that same program in Nicaragua, but they've had it for many years. And so the idea of duplicating that model with Peruvian, Chilean, Colombian characteristics is an important effort. It's had some results, not just in Peru, but in other places. The problem is that we're not investing enough money where there's not enough attention to these things, because it's not sexy and it's not exciting, right? But it's at the root of really trying to get to the problem of bringing the community into the government side and allowing it from falling into the trap of the illicit trafficking.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you, Dr. Mora.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And We're going to enjoy the rest of this conference. Hope to see some of you here if you haven't made it out already. We still have one more panel. It's going to be excellent. And stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.